Hey everybody, it's Leslie Tagorda, your brand astrologer and designer here. Anyway, I wanted to wish everyone a happy new moon in Leo and to let you know that it's not too late to create your intention if you haven't already done a new moon ritual. So I wanted to come on today to kind of talk about new moons, like the real power of setting your intentions, right? First of all, why new moons are the perfect time to set your intentions, what intentions allow us to really accomplish in our life and our business. I also wanted to give you some tips on how to create an intention, like a really great intention that the universe can hear. And then lastly, I wanted to give you some tips on how to use your own natal astrology to create a perfect intention specifically to your design. So hello, thank you for joining me. I'll be talking about some new moon intentions. Last night we had, if I'm in Pacific time, so new moon in Leo happened exactly last night at 7:42 p.m. and you have about 72 hours to really cultivate the new moon energy. So it's not too late if you haven't already done your new moon ritual, okay? So if you've been following me for a while, you already know that new moons are when the sun and the moon meet, and they're an amazing time to actually set your intentions. We get 12 or 13 new moons every year, right? So in 2020, you will have 12 new moons, and each time the new moon goes through your natal chart, it activates a certain house in your chart. And this is the kind of the key as to where we're supposed to plant our intentions for maximum benefit. Now, you don't have to follow that. If you don't know your house system, don't worry, follow your intuition, because that is always has the upper hand. So Leo new moon, Leo new moon is about confidence, it's about passion, it's about joy, and Mercury was just 2 degrees from that new moon. So communications. Are you communicating confidently? Are you communicating with joy and passion, right? So we plant the seeds of intention with the new moon during this darkness of night, right? Because if we're following this is just pure cycles of Mother Nature, right? When you plant a seed at the time of the new moon, when it's dark, as the light increases of the moon, the seed begins to activate, it begins to root, it begins to grow. And if you notice, it's just following the natural rhythms of Mother Nature. So us too, when we are planting our own seeds of intention, whether in our life or in our business or all of it, right? Then we get to follow Mother Nature and say, hey, I have this little seed for you. Will you please help me plant it? Will you please help me cultivate it, right? Because when a seed is growing, we don't micromanage it, right? We don't tell it how to to root. We don't tell it how many roots to put down. We don't tell it any of that stuff. We fertilize it, right? We nourish it, we prune it, we fertilize it, we water it. I think I said nourish and fertilize. But anyway, so new moons, right? So the importance of intentions now, right? When we create the seed, when we cultivate the seed, there's 4 things that really help us cultivate this seed, okay? So the first thing with setting an intention is that you want to check in, right? Because like I said, your new moon intentions, we cycle through everything for an entire year. So your intentions have probably changed. So this allows us to check in and see if we're still in alignment with what was really important to us before, because more than likely, you've shifted, right? I know I have. If I look at my intentions from last year, and I do keep a journal. I have one special journal that I put all of my intentions in, so I can go back to see what I've accomplished, right? So number 1, check in. Number 2, get really, really clear with what you want. Earlier, I was talking to a friend, and she was kind of griping about how her communications weren't hitting. And I was like, well, what do you need? What do you actually want? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, this is a great time to figure it out, right? So spend some time getting in the flow and figuring it out, because we need a destination. We need something to tell the universe to ask for, right? If we're not clear with what we want and what we desire, then we don't have the ability to ask for it, right? Can I get a yay with that? Right? right? No more bitching, no more griping. Ask for what you want. Be super clear, and setting an intention for different parts of your business, different parts of your life, especially around communications with this Leo new moon, is perfect. Yay. So the third thing about really setting intentions is now we get to like focus on a desired outcome. Again, similar to gaining clarity, right? It's just like focusing, right? If we're going on a trip, like sometimes the intention for the trip is like just to see where the road takes us. But most of the time when we're taking a trip, we have a clear destination. Like we want to land in a certain place because we made a reservation or, you know, we have this like certain idea in our head, right? So we need to tell the universe of the destination, right? And not get caught up in like which route we're going to take, what car we're going to drive, how much gas we need. That's not what we need to know. Oh yes, please come back and finish. I'll have some more tips, Irma. I can't read this. My eyes are so bad. Anyway, so focus on the desired outcome. The fourth big thing about setting an intention is that we use ceremony and ritual to actually communicate to the universe what we want, right? So you see I have a candle burning in here because I actually just finished my new moon ritual myself. Even though the new moon was almost 24 hours ago, like I said, you're not too late. You have up to 72 hours after the new moon, right? And we use ritual to really tell the universe what we want, right? You can create your own ritual, but the basic steps: clear your space, set a candle, get into the flow. For me, because I'm all air, right? I'm Gemini and Aquarius and all this stuff, so I like to write it down. I like to get all the thoughts out of my head. But maybe you're an earthy person. Maybe you need to dance things out or do some stretches to like really get in the flow, right? And this just allows you to get clear. Again, don't get caught up in the hows, right? Just figure out the destination. So yes, I'll review. 4 things to get your intentions super clear is: first, check in, get clear with what you need and what you want. Focus on your desired outcome, really define that outcome, and then use ritual, any kind of ceremony, use your heart with the ceremony to ask for what you want. All right. Now, some tips for you, if you want, for setting realistic intentions. Okay. First, be flexible, right? I've seen some people set intentions like, I want to bring in 10 clients. What if the universe wants you to bring in like 15 clients, right? Or like, I want to make, $50,000 in the next launch. What if the universe wants you to make $100,000 in the next launch? But if you have a specific goal, right, definitely have that specific goal. So if your intention was to create, earn $50,000 in your next launch, you could say something like, I'd like to intend bringing in at least $50,000, right? So you're setting the floor, but you're leaving it open for possibilities, right? So keep your intentions really open, because we're not here about creating goals. Goals are really based in kind of like this yang, like it's this or that, very black and white. But of course, we're harnessing soft power when we're creating intentions. So we want to leave a lot of flexibility, because the universe might have even something better for you, right? The other thing is, like I said this before, don't get stuck on the hows, right? If, for example, I want to share my ritual or my intention as about creating clear communications that spread globally, spread far around astrology-based branding. That was it in a nutshell. Because for me, sometimes like I don't show up consistently, or I'm not writing the right things, or I'm struggling on finding the right words, and I didn't want to focus on that. I wanted the possibility of all of my communications circling the world, right? And so I created this really open-endedness. I wanted clarity. I wanted ease. I wanted to be able to call in my dream ideal customers, right? I didn't put a price tag on it. I didn't put, a date or a stamp on it like that. I know that there's like some smart metrics people who'd be like, well, that's just a wish. I don't actually believe that. All right. And then the other thing is that make sure it's attainable, right? Don't create an intention that's like so off the wall, or that's so grandiose that you're actually not ready to attain that intention. So those are some tips. Now, for you astro-curious people, again, you can always look to, in your natal chart, we just had Leo 26 degrees. So even though obviously the moon has moved past, we're still looking at 26 degrees because that area of our chart is still vibrating the new moon energy, right? So look to your natal chart and find out where 26 degrees of Leo is. And that will give you insight as to what part of your life, what part of your business needs an intention reset, right? So for example, mine is third house, Leo in the third house. So of course mine was even more so about communications. So even though Mercury is already in it, for all of us, we can talk about having clear, confident communications. Even for me, it was even more specific, right? So communications was all for me. Some people might have it in the fifth house. So this would be about playful and having fun. You might have it in the ninth house about your vision, or your 10th house about delivering your ultimate mission, right? If it's in your first house, it's about branding, right? How can you communicate your brand with more fun and passion and confidence? All of those Leo concepts, right? So number one, look at which house. Number two, find out other planets in your natal chart that are being pinged by this new moon. So again, 26 degrees of Leo was the new moon this yesterday. And so Leo is a fixed sign. So we want to look at other fixed signs in your chart. So we have Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Those are our 4 fixed signs. So look in your chart to see if you have any planets around 26 degrees of those fixed signs, because those planets want want a word in. If you check out the post that I just posted about my personal new moon ritual, I actually spelled out my own astrology and really highlighted the different things that you want to look in your chart. So I actually had my Sun Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius. It's at 25 and 24 degrees that were chimed in, because 25, 24, those were 2 degrees, 2 degrees from 26, Leo. And then I also had my natal Mars in Taurus, right? Mars in Taurus. Yes, I can move slowly sometimes. But Mars wanted to chime in, and my natal Sun Jupiter wanted to chime in. So you can kind of see, if you check out my last post, it has a tarot card. It has this beautiful tarot card. This is the 6 of crystals from my new deck. I just got it in the mail. I was searching for a deck. I just picked up this deck called the Star Child Tarot. So anyway, you want to look at your fixed signs, right? So, in the next new moon, when it's in Virgo, we would then be looking at the degree of Virgo. And then because Virgo is a mutable energy, we would be then looking at any mutable planets that are close to that degree, right? We're looking in the same modality, because then those activations would be either oppositions or squares. If I'm talking a little bit too astro nerdy, forgive me. That's what I love to talk about. All right. So I hope that you all set intentions today or yesterday, or by tomorrow. New moons are very powerful times for all of us. Even if you're not super spiritual, you know that we're just working with Mother Nature and the natural energies that we are here to harness. All right, have a great one, everyone. Take care. Bye.